Hi, we're at the Pixel Power Playground. Welcome to our game channel. The first game we decide to play is, you guessed it, Stardew Valley. We're playing a modded game with Stardew Valley Expanded and Ridgeside. We also have a bunch of other mods. We've listed them all in the description below. Let us know in the comments if there's any mods you'd like to see in upcoming videos. For this video series, my husband and I are going to complete a self-made challenge. We're calling the challenge Stardew Valley Play Together. The rules are sharing one game of Stardew Valley. We will alternate every 2 game weeks. We are not allowed to interfere with the other person's gameplay, meaning I can't tell him, by the way, you really need to plant parsnips for the community center, and he can't tell me, oh, by the way, I'm working on building a barn. We play separately but together. We also have completing the community center in year 1 and remix bundles, as well as 4 candles on Grandpa's shrine the first try. We have must be married with at least 1 child before the end of year 2, and only allowed to sell foraged items during the season. All other items are only allowed to be sold on the 28th of the season. We have 2 sub goals: make friends with the wizard to get access to change our appearance, and make friends with Marlon to gain access to the sewer. And here we go. We did what any sane person would do and flipped a coin. I lost on gender, I won on pet, and I also get to go first. Let's just put the information in here. We decided to go with the name Pixels. Our farm name is Sunshine Field, and favorite thing is chocolate. We also went with the Immersive Farm 2 Remastered. It's a very huge plot, and now we have to fix the settings for the remixed bundles. And we'll take a peek and see if there's any other settings that we want to change. I don't see that there is, so we can just press OK. Let's get this party started. We start with Grandpa giving us a letter. Some years later, working hard. We have a bright idea. Let's open the letter Grandpa gave us. And it's basically just talking about the farm, and if we feel like we're all worn down, we have somewhere to go, and he left us Sunshine Field Farm. Let's go! For anybody who hasn't ever played Stardew Valley Expanded, it starts a little bit different when you pick the immersive remastered farm. You've been here before, and Robin greets you differently. She just tells you basically of what she's done for your farm, and then she gives you a nice little tour of all the stuff. We have a cool backyard. I already have an idea for this backyard. Hopefully I get to it first. And then she shows us a bridge she built. She also gives us a little bit of bad news in the terms of how much it costs for all of these repairs. And it costs a literal ton of gold. 103,000 gold to be precise, which is a lot, Robin. But we don't have a choice, so yes. Yes, we will. After that, we go and we meet Lewis. He tells us about the tools that were left for us. Clint was nice enough to give us a axe, a pickaxe, a hoe, a watering can, and a scythe. Thanks, Clint. As well as he tells us that we should go and introduce ourselves to all of the villagers and basically look around and get acquainted with our new land. So the goals for today are planting some crops, as well as looking around at our land to see what we have to work with, and meeting as many of the villagers as we can, because as you'll see in the goal we have to meet 67 people, which is a lot of people. With the Ridgeside and the Stardew Valley expanded, it adds a ton of people, so it makes this goal just a little bit harder. So let's go. We got 15 parsnip seeds, which is a good start. And it also gave us a new journal entry, which is to cultivate and harvest our parsnips. So let's go do that. Before we get to planting, I'm just going to show you an overview of the property. When I said it was huge, I meant massive. It is quite extensive. Here you can just see a bit of it, and you can see that it is quite sizable. I've only ever played this once, and I didn't get very far, but it's big. I can't wait to play. I also took a couple screen captures for you to see, and as you can see, we're that little dot on the top. On the right, we have Grandpa's shed. Below, we have our own kind of secret woods, and then there is our own quarry on the bottom left. It is big, very, very big, and I can't wait to explore it all with you guys. Next up, we have a screen capture of Cindersap Forest, well, an extension of Cindersap Forest, as you can see it as a whole bunch of new content, as well as Grampleton Fields, which is the mod we installed, which gives us even more land to plant on. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start our cleanup. Besides clearing some space to plant our parsnips, we're also going to want to clear enough trees and branches to make our first chest to keep all of the stuff we collect along the way in. I'm going to go ahead and leave spaces for sprinklers, the quality sprinklers, when we actually are able to get some. I just find it a little bit easier than having to destroy a crop later on to put the sprinklers down. It just makes more sense to me. Now that we've got it planted, let's go ahead and water everything. Then let's clear some more trees and branches so we can make our first chest, as well as just clearing like some of the debris, some of the weeds and stuff that are in the way. Every day we will clear just a bit more land. Before we go to bed, we'll make sure we're clearing as much land as possible that our energy allows. Once it's all clear, it's just basically maintaining it. We should have enough to build our first chest. We do. Now let's give you a nice little tour of the land, well, as much as we can. First, we're on the west side. As you can see, it's quite blocked. There's big boulders, there's lots of tree stumps. We're not gonna be able to get very far. If we go to the right, we go back to the farm. Down would be, I think, the docks, but we can't get there yet. We'll have to wait and see. And then if we go back in to the tunnel and go to the right one, we go to this area, which is down. I don't know if you remember seeing it, but it's down very on the right side at the bottom. It leads to where our bat cave or mushroom cave would be. I also plan on putting a lots of preserve jars and stuff at the top there, just to be like a one-stop shop, so I don't have to move everything around. And then if you go in here, it's kind of like our own mini mine, I guess. Every day it populates different artifacts, or different minerals, I should say. Some people will call it a little bit cheaty, but it comes with expanded, so it's not something that we can take out. And at the top there, you can see that we have our own little underground fishing pond. Let's head back and start our introductions. First, we come across a scene with Lewis and Lenny. Lenny is his sister, and she is from Ridgeside. Here is a screen capture of Ridgeside. It's just a new mod we installed. Let's go meet some people. So first up is Harvey. Hi, Harvey. We'll take a quick peek at the calendar. It tells us it's Tort's birthday. He came with Ridgeside, one of the new characters. Then we'll take a quick peek at the job board. There's no jobs. Then we meet Gus, Abigail, Pierre, and Pet Dusty, of course. Meet Alex. Then we pop in and meet George and Evelyn. Hi, George. Hi, Evelyn. And then it's off we go, where we run into Sam, Leah, and Kenneth. Next up is Penny. Then we pop into the library/museum, where we run into Gunther, who tells us about the museum being sad because it has no artifacts, asks us to help out, which we do right away. We donate our first artifact to the museum and complete the quest, getting us 250 gold, which is sweet for our first day. Then we pop in to see Clint. Clint is the one who gave us all the tools. Thanks, Clint. Speaking of tools, we can upgrade our tools here, as well as open geodes and treasure chests whenever we get them. Then we go off to Jojo Mart, where we meet Claire and Morris. We try to talk to Shane, but Shane's too busy for us, as usual. Boo. Then we go over to the Jenkins residence, where we meet Olivia and Victor. Then we pop back into Pierre's to give Caroline a gift and meet her. You want to make friends with Caroline for the tea saplings. And we go to the beach, where we meet Elliot, pick up some forageables because we need the money. And we also meet Carmen. And then we pop over to the vineyard and we meet Sophia. Then we pop into Cinderset Forest, collect some forageables, and we meet Andy and Haley, Marnie, and finally we meet Jazz. We will do a quick trip back to our farm to drop off all our forageables, keeping the ones we think will be for the community center, we're not sure yet, and shipping the rest before we head up to the mountain, where we meet Linus, give him a gift. I love Linus. Then we pop into the carpenter and meet Demetrius. And then it is back to the town square, where we meet Yuma, Shiro, and Philip. Now we'll head up to Ridgeside and hopefully meet some more people. For anyone who hasn't actually played the Ridgeside mod, the addition of the gondola is actually pretty cool. First, we'll take a look around for some forageables because we can use the extra gold. Then we pop into town and we see a cutscene where Lenny, who is the sister, shows us around. We actually removed all of the cutscenes because we didn't want to ruin any of the surprise for anybody who hasn't played Ridgeside or the expanded mods. It's fun to kind of find them on your own, and we didn't want to ruin that. Then we met Trini, who corrects us on the pronunciation of her name. Apparently lots of people pronouncing it incorrectly. I probably am too. Then we meet Ke'ahi, which is probably pronounced incorrectly. Then we pop in and meet the scientist, Mr. Auger, also pronounced probably wrong. I'm horrible with names. Then we pop out and see who else we can find. Do a little bit of looking around, trying to find our way before we find Maddie. Then it's back to the hunt, trying to find more people. And we happen to come across Alyssa. Then we pass through the orchard, wishing we could pluck all that lovely fruit before we come up here. Then we find Lola and Freddie. Crossing the bridge and heading back into town, I can see Tort. We decide to give him a birthday gift, remembering that it is his birthday. We go ahead and give him this flower that he does not like. Oops. Sorry, Tort. The thought that counts, right? We meet Ezekiel before heading over here where we meet Kiera. We try to re-meet Kenneth, and then we head to this little cafe where we meet Faye. And then Pika, like Pikachu, which is awesome. And then Corinne. Also take a look at their help wanted board for quests. We can't actually do any of them, so we move on. Where we meet Isabel. Then we continue on our quest to meet new people. We see this big house here and think that's probably a good place to go. So we pop inside where we meet Maeve. And then we also meet Irene, as well as Aria, who is kind of snooty. Then we pop up here and meet Sunny, who is not snooty. He seems very nice. Now we'll head back towards the town square and see if we can meet any more people on our way out of town. So we come across this house, which we pop inside, nobody here. We go into what I think is their clinic, where we meet Paula. We try to meet the guy behind the door, but it's locked, so we can't. So we pop back outside, and then we decide to go into the inn, where we meet Richard. And then we also meet Fleur. After meeting Fleur, we head back outside, where we pop into the Odd Jobs service cabin, where we meet Sean. We head back outside to go towards where their general store is, Peeps, where we meet Shanice, who seems very pleasant. Then we meet Bert. And then finally we meet Lorenzo. After talking to Lorenzo for a minute, we head back on outside where we pick up a forageable and then head into the woods where we meet a mysterious man, Geo. After Geo, we meet Blair, and then we head back on out of town where we meet Ian. A quick gondola ride later, and we are back in town, where we pop into town and see if we can manage to meet any of the people we missed. So we head over here. We meet Vincent and Jody before heading back into the town square to meet Maru. After meeting Maru, we decide it's a good idea to go pop into the saloon to see who's in there, where we are fortunate enough to meet Shane, and then Emily, as well as Pam. And to be super shocked that both Pam and Shane are in the saloon at this hour. After the final introductions of the day, I decide it's probably a good time to head back to the farm, do some last minute cleanup, and plant the missing seeds. So first up, I plant our missing seed and water it. Then I take the time to cut down more trees and clear some more debris while I still have some energy. I've made a side goal for myself to make sure that I don't go to bed before midnight, just to get the most out of the playthrough and to maximize our energy. A quick cleanup later, it's time to turn in. I think it was actually a pretty good day. We planted a bunch of seeds, we met a ton of people, we kind of got the lay of the land a little bit. It was a good day. We actually managed to level up to level 1 foraging, as well as here's our totals. 523 gold is a pretty decent number for our first day. I think we should be pretty proud of that. The next sets of videos will be slightly different, as they will be 3 days at a time, with only the first and the last days of the 2 weeks being single day videos. Thanks for watching our first video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss a video. Let us know in the comments if you have any suggestions for our upcoming videos. Also, don't forget to let us know if there are any mods you'd like to see. We'll put the selected mods starting week 3, so be sure to keep watching to see if your mods were selected. Thanks for all your support. We can't do this without you. See you next time!